The gauntlet has been thrown. The man behind the camera has challenged me to a chop style video. He gave me a mystery bag and I got 45 minutes to complete it. Now, let's take a look what all the goodies are in here. We got a bag full of pears. A couple bags of toasted almonds. Okay, we got a thing of tiny potatoes. We got another thing of potatoes. We got a ream of garlic. And we have pancetta. Pancetta, if most people that don't know, it's like bacon and ham put together. Alright, see when we get this thing started. Alright, I just got confirmation from the boss man behind camera. I gotta do a side and I gotta do dessert. So, got my skillet preheating, got my oven preheating. Let's get to work, folks.
Go ahead.
Alright, I got the butter from the block. Gonna throw that in the skillet so it starts melting. Let that go for a bit. Got my garlic. Peel off all the skin. That should be enough. Pop off a few cloves, pop off a few little sections of it. Now what I'm doing now, I'm going to simply crack them. That way, now that I'm throwing them in the butter, it's going to infuse the fat for when I start cooking and when the butter fully melts. Now that I got that done, take my pancetta, open her up. Give her a quick taste. Tastes pretty good. Now a little thing to know, watch the garlic, because you don't want that to burn when you're messing with your meat, cutting up your potatoes, but they will add flavor, so just keep an eye on them. I'm gonna throw a little bit of the pancetta in there. Turn my heat up a little bit more.
There we go.
Alright, the butter's fully melted, the garlic is starting to infuse it. You can smell it from here. Can you smell it from behind the camera?
Most definitely.
Right, now I sliced my potatoes into little chip size. And we're just gonna fry them suckers up. Well, not really fry, but more like saute. But this is gonna infuse the flavors of the butter, the garlic, and the meat. And if you see that you need to add a little more butter, add butter. As Pauline said, everything tastes better with butter. And you can never have too much butter. And like Chop, I am literally just going off the top of my head, off of ideas. Really not much measuring. But when it comes to the dessert, I'm going to have to be a little more cautious. Because I'm more of a savory person instead of a sweet person. But I know how to do both sides. Now I'm going to add a bit of salt. That way my potatoes are seasoned a little bit. Gonna give that a quick stir. Now add a little bit of pepper. A little onion powder. And so you people know, these are going with steaks and chicken breast. Which, if you haven't already seen, go to the first video for instructions how to do a panko crusted chicken breast. Now the reason why I'm putting the spices in my hand and doing a pinch at a time, that way I have a little more control over how much seasonings go into the pan compared to just going straight from the source. Now I'm just gonna let those go. Remember, always taste your food. If you wouldn't try it, why would somebody else eat it? Now that our potatoes are fully cooked and we got a nice flavor going, because the people behind the camera, can you attest that this is some good stuff?
Yummy.
It was very good.
Alright, now I'm gonna pull it off the skillet, turn our heat off. Now, if you're still wondering what happened to the garlic, it's still in there. I'm just gonna go through and pick it out. That way, nobody gets a huge clove of garlic and thinks that the side is disgusting. Now, why we're using a slotted spoon is so we don't get all the fat from the meat and all the butter in the side. The goal for this one is to basically have a bit of meat and have a bit of potato in every bite. Alright, now it's time for the desserts. I'm about halfway on my time. What do you say I've been working for? About 20 minutes?
Sure.
Alright, you heard them. Or if you didn't, they said sure. Now I'm going to throw my butter in a little saucepan. Going to get that melted. Reason why we're starting the desserts, we're going to do a baked apple and pear kind of chips with brown sugar, nutmeg, and cinnamon. Now we just start cutting our pears up. You want to look for something about like that, or maybe a little thicker. You want to try to keep your cuts about the same. That way your cooking time stays about the same. I'll take the seeds out of that soon. Alright, now that we got our apples and our pears all cut up, we just simply pour some butter over them. Give them a nice little stir here. If I was wearing gloves, I'd be hands in it, but I'd rather not burn my hands to a crisp. Hey. Well, now that they got coated a little bit, we just simply take our mix here of brown sugar, cinnamon, and nutmeg.
Just sprinkle it on there. Give it a nice little stir here. Let them basically, you're just making sure they're all coated. Alright, I'll catch you when we're ready to shove these things in the oven. Alright, they're all coated, they're ready to go. Our oven's at temperature at 350 degrees. Pull it down. That's a heat blast. Shove her in and let it go until they're nice and soft. You can see the coloration has went from completely white to almost not really brown, but somewhere in between. Alright, we've taken our dessert out of the oven. They smell like heaven. Now we're going to let them cool down a little bit. Time for the final thing, our roasted almonds. I'm simply just going to get them and chop them up. This is more of a garnish than anything. I mean, I could have used this in the potatoes, but I'd get a completely different flavor and it just wouldn't have ended well. Since we already had ice cream from last week left over, we stuck it on a plate. Our baked apples and pears, they're on top of it, so that vanilla flavor and the cinnamon and all that just tastes great. We had our almonds left, chopped them up. Now, just sprinkling them on there to give it some crunch. And we're just going for texture. Okay, there's that. Plus our chicken breast, our potatoes with the pancetta, the infused garlic butter, and some healthy alternatives, fresh apples and pears. And those look great. Alright guys, here comes the fun part. We got 2 questions of the day. Remember, put your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, first question of the day, is water wet? The second question is, if a turtle doesn't have a shell, is it homeless or is it naked? Remember, put your thoughts in the comments below. And to top it off, remember, to like the video, subscribe if you haven't to, hit that little bell, that way you get some notifications, and you want to, share this to your friends and family if they don't know how to cook. See you soon.